Wink has just given us a trend reversal confirmation on the daily chart. So where is it heading next and what's going to happen with it? That's what we'll find out today. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is King, your host, and today's video is for pure educational purposes. If it's your first time in my channel and you happen to like this video or my content, please consider subscribing and smashing the like button because it really helps. Also share it if you think it's worth sharing. Now let's look at the chart. Now I decided to start analyzing Wink from the beginning of 2021 and consider that this structure has started over here. Now technically speaking, the uptrend should have started from this point over here, because this was the lowest point Wink has touched and it has formed a higher low at this point over here. But when I looked at this specific piece, I decided to consider it outside the structure that we have, because it's more like a consolidation and it's not impulsive in its nature, similar to what we have over here. So before we start, the structure that we look at is most likely going to be a three-wave structure. So let's zoom in and see what do we have in the chart right now. Now the initial impulse of Wink was spectacular, because from January to April of this year, it has managed to multiply by almost 60 times of its initial price. And this was such a great performance comparing to many other cryptocurrencies. However, it has taken such a big massive hit from April to August in the 4 months that came after. As I said in the beginning of the video, I believe that we already have a trend reversal for Wink, and there are multiple reasons behind this belief of mine. First of all, because this corrective piece over here, which started in April, is likely completed. And this was not an easy correction to analyze, but eventually I managed to understand how many waves we had in this one, because this was a complicated 5-wave correction where it started right at the top over here and it had its initial impulse towards the downside. Then it had the first pullback, which is wave X, and then we had a second impulse, and then we had another correction until we got to this last point over here. So this was all the correction that we had for Wink all the way from April to August. And because we can't have more than 5-wave structure in any financial market, so this correction has ended at this point over here. In other words, there is no chance that we'll have further waves towards the downside below this point. Moving forward, our second confirmation that the price has already started its reversal is the most basic concept for price reversal, and it says that the price has already started forming a series of higher highs and higher lows. So after reaching all-time low at the end of this correction here, this was the lowest point we reached. The initial trend up from this point onwards took us to form an initial high which was higher than the last high we had in the correction, and then it went down to correct itself and form a higher low at this point. But until the day before yesterday, we did not have 100% confirmation that we are in a new uptrend, and this was 100% confirmed once the price has broken above this previous level. So the first high that it formed after it started its new uptrend was already broken, which means we already have a series of higher highs, higher lows, and now we have a new higher high at this point over here. So now we can confirm after reaching this point that the price has already started a new uptrend. Now some people might argue that we have long wicks over here and there was a price rejection, so maybe this was a fake breakout. But if we zoom further to the 1-hour chart, we will see that right after the breakout, the price is forming a corrective flat pattern, and this pattern would most likely be ending soon. So it had an initial impulse, another impulse up, and then another impulse down. So if this ends up being a simple 3-wave flat, so basically we'll get to some point over here and then we'll continue our uptrend from this point. So in short, all the signs are telling us that the uptrend for Wink has already resumed. And if you want to confirm this even further than this, you can simply plot a Fibonacci retracement level at the initial impulse of the uptrend, and you will see that the price has managed to find a support around the 0.786 Fibonacci level, and then it started going up again from there. So that's an additional confirmation supporting the price reversal theory. And now let's see what the trend-based Fibonacci extension is telling us about how far Wink price is going to go from this point onwards, and if it's going to achieve a much higher high than its previous all-time high or not. As you can see here, the current Fibonacci extension levels are giving us two options. The most standard option, where most coins tend to go after a retracement, and it's the 1.618 Fibonacci level. So if the price ends up going in its third and last impulse of this structure towards the 1.618 Fibonacci level, it will likely be going to around $0.005, which is half a cent. And that's a little bit more than 600% increase in price from the current price levels. However, if the price ends up going and retesting the 3.618 Fibonacci extension, which stands at around 1.1 cent, this means that we could be seeing a 1200% growth in the price from this point all the way towards the end of 2021. Now, I don't want to be biased over here and say that I lean towards one option more than the other, but you tell me, what do you think? And how far you believe Wink is going to go from this point onwards? Now, in both cases, whether it hits the first level or the second level, this is going to be a decent return on investment. You can tell me your thoughts in the comments section below, and share with me any other thoughts about Wink or any other cryptocurrency that you would like me to look at in the future. So this was it for today, and until next video, stay safe and see you later.